Hello, this is Sam Burnham. This is my first video for my art business, Shadow of Life Arts. It's kind of a start at. Um, so this is going to be some explanations of some of my artwork that I have throughout the house, paintings I've done. There's also a cross that I did in conjunction with my CBA school. Um, but mainly it's all my paintings. It's not all of them, it's a few. I do want to put out there, so throughout I know I didn't comment on it a lot, but I noticed later that there's several paintings that were based around a pride theme, and I guess when I'd gone to the event, that there is a pride theme, and so I'm pretty open minded. Now I get along with everybody. Um, but my paintings aren't based off of the pride theme. My paintings were done at like pride events, but I wanted to do something else because um, I think that's just something that divides people if you get into group and things like that. So I try to find my own passion behind my own themes on whatever I was doing. Um, so so yeah, my paintings aren't pride based. There's like three of them, I think, and I guess I really didn't even need to elaborate on that, but they were pride events that was the theme of the night, or whatever, and I ended up doing my own thing. Had a lot of fun at all the groups. Um, there's one painting that I said I did in Oklahoma City, and I didn't. It was a Tulsa one. It was one of the three Tulsa area ones. There's three Pinellas palettes in the Tulsa area. One of them's in Broken Arrow, one of them's in Tulsa, and then one of them's right off the river. I can't remember what the name of that little town is. It's close to, it's part of Tulsa. Anyway, um, the girls there and all the instructors there were always really awesome. But without further ado, um, here's my video. It's gonna be, and I'm gonna clip this in with it as an introduction. But when I get to walking around the living room, the light's not very good. You can't see details in some of the paintings, so you'll probably see me do another video on all that. I need to do. I think I'll mention it in the video that I did previously that this is going to be attached to. Talk about going through all the black light effects because I didn't have the black lights on, and I didn't go over the glow in the dark and actually show the glow in the dark in the video. I just talked about it a little bit. So let's get you into this video. It starts off in kind of an odd spot, but because I kind of cropped it from a longer video of a painting I just did. But I wanted to separate it out because the video was like an hour and a half, and I cropped it down to like, I think 28 minutes. So anyway, here we go. And I hope you enjoy the video. Send me some likes. I'll get this posted to YouTube and to Facebook here shortly. Thank you. If I were to do a sign, like do a logo in it, trying to decide what would be the best way. I need some good stencils. That's what I need. Some really good stencils. I was going to order some. I couldn't find what I want. I was looking for some big Black Ops 1 stencils. The hobby store has some stencils here, and they were kind of close. they didn't have enough to do what I wanted to do, which was to spell out Sam's Egg and Sport Shop. They didn't have enough letters, of course, so I didn't buy them. The Shadow of Life Arts is a whole different stencil. It's not Black Ops 1. It's going to be more artistic, more curvy and flowy, and kind of almost a gothic, or more of a script, I guess. Not really gothic, but script. The brush art works really well, but I like a cursive script for that. Shadow Life Arts it, and I like it being in neon green. But it's kind of a passion of mine. I love painting. I love drawing. I've done lots of charcoal sketches. All the paintings here in the house are mine. Let's just take a little tour of my paintings here real quick. Here, that's a combine farm painting I did. I've done several of these farm paintings. This is one of my first ones I did. I think it turned out really well. And you'll notice, I can turn the black light on. There's another one. I actually painted that from a picture that I took. This combine up here. Let's get a little closer. That one, that's a favorite. This one doesn't have neon in it, fluorescent paints, but it's a little fisherman that I did out in the bay. I did like a paint and drink deal here in Ridgecrest. There's a waterfall scene I did on a Ford hubcap, an old rusted out Ford hubcap. This is another favorite that I like. It's a lighthouse. Looks really good under the black light. This has got metallic and neon fluorescent in it. Here's another one I did. I really enjoyed painting this one. It's a Dreamcatcher sunset that I did. The feathers turned out really amazing. It's got some metallic in it. It's got fluorescent in it. It was really fun. You can come in here to my bedroom here. I got a bunch of paintings in here. This is one that I wanted to do. I didn't do this at a class. I did this here at the house. But it's got metallic in it. It's got white. It's got, I think there's glow in the dark in this, fluorescent in it. It's really fun to do. My version of that painting. So here is one, and it was supposed to be like a lover's date night deal, and I turned it into a little sci-fi guy. Almost looks like a Boba Fett, but it's whatever you want it to be. But it looks really good in the black light. This is one that was kind of Zelda inspired, but the little Zelda monster tree, and then a little guy in a little fishing boat going through the swamp. Here's this here is a window that I painted. I painted both sides of it. On this side, it's got like a guardhouse, or could be a lighthouse. Palm tree, like beach deal night scene. It looks really neat. But I painted both sides of this. It's kind of crazy. This has got a fisheye look to it, but on the back side, so on that other side when I painted it, I painted the whole thing in glow in the dark before I painted it. Well, on this side, I left out gaps so the white would come through, and use the white that you see on the boat and the moon is actually painted on the other side of the glass. And I just painted black and blue to give it the effect of a ship on this side. So, and it turned out really good. I was really happy with it. So it's glow in the dark. It's also fluorescent. Turned out really good. I was really happy with that. It's kind of a introduction to some of my art. Here's one of my first paintings I did in Oklahoma City. They did it was a Eiffel Tower theme, and it's one of my first paintings that I played with glow in the dark paints and metallic paints and fluorescence all mixed in one, and I'm really impressed with this. It was like a unique idea for me. I brought my own paints to do this at a paint and sip event at Pino's Palette. I love those guys. They taught me a lot. I always try to tip really well, make sure that when I went, whoever was working, I gave them a $10 tip for the night, because I mean, they just do a fabulous job. It's one of my favorite deals. A little shout out to Rachel Songbuoy, great instructor, and all the girls that work there. But this was one that I did, and y'all can probably, if you're comic book fans of Top Cow Comics, or I think this is from Fathom, and in the comic book, the cover, there's like dolphins coming up out of the water with her, whatever. And I left those out. I didn't get that done, but this is my first attempt at painting a person, and I did it looking off of a comic book cover, and it turned out really well. It looks really good under the black light as well. This one could be an ocean scene, or it could be a mountain scene. Under the black light, it really almost looks like mountains with a sunset, or it could be like waves in a storm in the ocean. Just magnificent painting. I think it looks better in the black light than it does by itself, but it stands out by itself pretty good too. Just a fun painting that I did. Here's a freehand. I did this on my own. I wasn't really looking off of anything. Just a ship in the storm with rain, and it's kind of a flat canvas. It's not a thick framed canvas, but it was a fun painting to do. This is just a little tour of my paintings, I guess. So, and I needed a break to let that dry, so I thought I'd do a tour. When I come in here to the bathroom, I got a couple paintings in here too. This one here was really fun. It was the theme at the paint and sip was stepping out. I had a little girl going into the club or whatever. I threw in the motorcycle, did the motorcycle. I found something to look off of online and painted up a motorcycle. And that was pretty fun. I did a lot of these at Pino's Palette in Tulsa. I haven't been able to go to those as much out here. It's a long drive to get to them, and time hasn't been quite as available. I got some more paintings in here. They're not quite as good. This one looks really good under the black light, but it looks pretty messy in regular light. But I really like how that looks under the black light. The fluorescence really makes that pop. It looks legit like a Milky Way under the black light. Here's a volcano I did. They were supposed to just be a mountain scene, but turned out pretty good. This one I kind of did my own thing. Did like a Native American on it. It's kind of ghostly. And I never saw it, and I can kind of see it now, but it stands out really good. And I didn't try to do this, but if you look close, right in here, you can see lips to a mouth, there's an eye, and there's kind of a shape of a nose in there, and it shows up a lot better in the black light. But I didn't try to paint that. Like, that was just, it formed itself with the brush strokes somehow. Now, I intentionally painted the Indian. And I tried to do a nose and stuff. I kind of covered it up because I wasn't happy with my mouth. So I just covered it up and made it kind of ghostly. But the theme for this was, it was like a Pride Week deal at Pino's Palette there in Tulsa. But I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do the rainbow lips or whatever. So I kind of did my own thing. And I've done that a lot. That's how I got a lot of my combine and farm paintings. But this one looks, it really freaked me out to see this second face. And I may do another video where I show them all in the black light, because they all look so much different in the black light. But super happy how it turned out. I know my room looks kind of a mess. You can see my gun stuff up there. Yeah, I'm a gun nut too, not as much as my brother, but here's a black and white I did. It was like a Halloween theme. I did that at Brews and Brushes here in Ridgecrest. And I really liked this painting. It was a freehand I did. I didn't look off of anything to do it. But they were doing something where they only had black and white. And so this is what I decided to do. It was kind of a Halloween theme deal. And I kind of stepped out and did my own thing with this one as well. It was a lot of fun. What else we got in here? Some others. We'll step back out into the living room. Also have movie posters in here. Of course, you probably saw my Marilyn Monroe calendar in here. I found that at a antique shop in Oklahoma. But I thought it was really cool. It was authentic, so I bought it and framed it. Let's see here. Another tractor deal that I painted. I bought the deal. The tractor was already on there. I just painted it. But that's also blacklight reactive. Out here I got, of course, a signed Bush deal from a Bush concert. More paintings I did at Pino's Palette. That was kind of me doing my own thing. I didn't want to do what they were doing, and so I did this science fiction Indian figure standing out on the deal with this planet coming up in the horizon, kind of a Jupiter-like planet. This is a painting I always wanted to do, and who knows, I may get a tattoo similar to that one day. Turned out real good. Let's turn on some lights here. So here's another Pino's Palette one. Again, I stepped out and did my own thing. I didn't want to do their theme, and so I was feeling pretty inspired, and I did this aircraft carrier, and it's kind of I did this right after I got out of active duty. I'd just come off a deployment, and VFA 87 was my squadron war party, and you got F-18s coming off the deck, an F-18 doing full power, high power turns. We got a helo and a destroyer out here following, aircraft in a pattern. It looks really good in the black light as well. It's not glow in the dark, but it is black light, and it's got some cool little comets and stars, and the moon looks really nice. Just a good painting. Here's it's like an old World War II photo that we did Beers and Brushes on Veterans Day, and so I chose to do a legit veterans I didn't want to do what they did. I didn't want to do their theme. It was another black and white theme, and didn't have a lot of colors to choose from, so I copied this World War II photo that I found online. And of course, I'm a service member. I was with VQ1 when I took this photo in LLITTLE Air Force Base. We were stationed out there. We did a deployment out there for 4 months. This is my squadron, my crew. I was an AT. With power plants and airframers and AMEs all in there. So it was a long time ago, but it's one of my favorite photos that I had framed. It's kind of my story. This eye painting has another pride theme deal in Tulsa, and yeah, I wanted to put my own twist to it. They just had the eyeball, and the frame was actually supposed to be turned the other way, and I turned it this way because I wanted to put the heart below it. And it turned out really good. I made sure I used fluorescent paints in it. They didn't really have fluorescent paints in that. A friend of mine posted this picture online. She's somebody I started talking to. I wanted to date her. I call her Casper now because she ghosted me. She just up and stopped talking to me one day. And we're still friends on Facebook, so every once in a while I'll give her shit and say, "Hey Casper, what's up?" And we still chat online, but I haven't talked to her on the phone in, I don't know, quite a while. But I thought she was pretty cool. She was in the Seabees too, so and we talked and we had a lot in common. And then one day, for whatever reason, she just like up and quit talking to me, like just out of the blue. Like, it's crazy. I was like, what the hell? Like, all right. So, but anyway, here's a beach theme. I kind of did my own twist on this. You know, that was the theme for the night, but they had the beach just coming all the way out here, and there wasn't a volcano in it, so I put the volcano and a palm tree. It was a nice little addition. It looks really nice under the black light too. This is one of my first paintings I did in Tulsa. They were doing it was Tulsa Pride, another Tulsa Pride. I guess they like doing pride paintings. Yeah, I did enough paintings there. It was like 2-3 years. And I didn't want to do pride. I wanted to do my own thing. But while I was there, I was working in Tulsa, and I put a lot of symbolism in this painting. And it says "City in the Storm," right? So if you look, there's a tornado in it. But Tulsa has got a huge homeless population, and they just got flooded as well. And there's a lot of crime in the streets, a lot of bad areas in the neighborhood in Tulsa. There's a lot of drugs. And so I kind of symbolize with the gold, the big skyscrapers with the gold, kind of a luxurious look. And then the storm represents a tornado, took out part of the town, damaged a bunch of buildings and stuff. They had some bad fires and stuff. People, it was wintertime, and they always have the house fires and stuff with people losing their homes and stuff. But they also had this huge flood, like it had rained more than ever, and they had this huge flood, and it flooded casinos and flooded a lot of the town and stuff, and put a lot of people in the street. So the theme I put on this went from, everybody else just did pretty square pride buildings with different colors. Well, I kind of did my own thing, and I made it City in the Storm, and kind of put all the tragedy mixed with the the elites that live there in the city, live in their high off, big buildings and work in their big buildings and make a lot of money and stuff. And it was kind of fun to do. I was pretty inspired by it, so I called it City in the Storm, and it's based off of Tulsa. It's kind of fun. That was just a fun painting I did. I was learning to do waves in the ocean, and then we did a couple of planets. I like the movie Pitch Black, and I like when the planet with the rings comes up over the horizon and puts them into the black. It's a Vin Diesel movie. This was a fun painting I did on my own, just in my free time at home. It's pretty fun. I like boats, guys. Being in the Navy is, here we did an Oktoberfest theme, and they just painted 2 mugs, coming together without any hands on them or anything, and foam on them, whatever. It's like, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do something authentic, something me. And I found, I Googled an image of German Oktoberfest girls, and there's this photo of this girl, and so I decided to try to paint that. Here I got a saw blade, just a hand saw that I painted a train on, and I always liked that song "City of New Orleans" by Willie Nelson, and so I painted this, and I think it's got glow in the dark, and it's got fluorescent in it. It looks really good in the black light. Believe it or not, this painting here, this puzzle is a puzzle I did. If you look, there's pieces missing. I lost some pieces. And I just left them out, but I went ahead and framed it anyway because it was a really neat puzzle to do. I like the picture, but it's also glow in the dark, and I like glow in the dark stuff, so that was pretty cool to do this. I love art. This is a really cool painting I did, and it's all fluorescent, black light reactive, and it turned out really good. Like I said, I probably need to do a video just on the black light. Here's a Chinese dragon we did. It was supposed to, it's me just doing my own thing again, but Chinese dragon looks kind of bland and kind of ugly without the black light on it. When you put the black light on it, so you see so much more little faint stuff that pops out and makes it just come to life. But it was supposed to be Phase of the Moons, but my moons look more like donuts. But I still think it's a cool painting. Just another Paris deal I did. Here's a freehand boat deal I did. I think I looked off of a boat a little bit, but I did the waves and the moon and all that. I kind of freehanded that at the house by myself. That wasn't a paint deal. Just something I loved to do, and I really enjoyed painting. Had a thing for drawing boats for a little bit. Maybe I'll get back to it. Some of my four-wheeler sticker art, trophy art. This one here, this is an old John Deere moldboard plow blade that I found on my property in Oklahoma, and I painted this sunset on it. It's got metallic paint, it's got fluorescent paints. The moon may even be glow in the dark. I can't remember. But it turned out really well. Really happy with it. I even made this nice stand for it. But anyway, most of my artwork. Oh, this cross. I gotta talk about this cross. I've got all my squadrons, all my commands on it. My instructors from going to builder school, my builder rate emblem. all my different commands that I've ever been to. Permanent duty stations and the command associated with it. All burn in with a wood burning tool. This is pretty cool. That was my first joint I did as a builder. We did that in A school, and I turned it into a cross. I kept it and then added all that stuff to it. But that was pretty cool. And I may take that and put that in the CB museum that may go in the CB museum over in Port Union. That, and I've got a book that I'd like to donate. Because if I keep the book, eventually it just get destroyed. But if it goes to that museum, it'll stay around for a long, long time. So I'd like to donate that. And maybe I'll add to it NMCB 22 retired, and maybe add some names from the command, some of my mentors. I never got to do a deployment with them, but I've done a lot of DETs and a lot of 2-week ATs, and got to do some cool stuff with them. Kind of regret not going on deployment. Just wasn't in the cards. This is a pretty cool guitar I did. It's pretty fun. Good little painting. Yeah, kitchen's a little bit of a mess. A parrot I did when I was in Oklahoma. But yeah, that's what I got.